Let's cut through the noise for a minute. Let's have a frank conversation about the state of modern dating, because many men are walking into it completely unprepared for the reality they're about to face. The truth is, the current dating scene isn't a welcoming place for the traditionally good man. It's not set up for the guy who leads with his heart, who offers sincerity and loyalty from day one, and who genuinely wants to build something real. Instead, what we have is an arena that often rewards emotional games, calculated indifference, and a constant performance of value. This is why so many decent men end up feeling exhausted, jaded, and completely lost. They enter the game with the best of intentions, only to find themselves treated like a temporary placeholder, easily discarded for the next thrill. And this brings us to a difficult but necessary truth. Unless you learn to build a protective shell around yourself, to operate with a degree of emotional distance, to embody a certain kind of darkness in how you guard your own worth, you are setting yourself up for failure. Consider the typical scenario. A man shows up with complete transparency. He communicates his feelings, he showers a woman with his time and focus, and he makes her his absolute priority. In the beginning, she might be swept away by this level of devotion. But before long, that constant attention starts to feel less like a gift and more like an expectation. It loses its impact. It becomes predictable. And the moment something becomes utterly predictable, its value plummets. The very qualities that define a good man, his patience, his emotional availability, his generosity, are twisted into liabilities in the eyes of a woman whose attraction is often fueled by challenge and a sense of the unknown. She doesn't perceive your consistent kindness as a sign of strength. She sees it as a lack of edge. And a lack of edge is the fastest way to extinguish romantic desire. This is how the well-meaning man gets left in the dust, watching from the sidelines as the more chaotic, emotionally unavailable man, the one who holds back, who creates tension, who makes her work for his approval, keeps her completely captivated. It's a disturbing pattern that forces every man to confront a harsh reality. In the modern dating world, being good doesn't guarantee she'll stay. In fact, it often makes her look elsewhere. When you grasp this, you begin to second-guess your entire approach. You ask yourself, why should I be the one to invest my emotions, my time, and my resources into someone who is perpetually scanning the horizon for the next best thing, for the man who offers a more intense emotional roller coaster? This is precisely why a growing number of men are choosing to withdraw from the dating scene entirely. They've been burned by the profound contradiction at its core. Women often say they want a stable, loyal partner, but their choices reveal a deep-seated attraction to risk. They claim to want security, but they chase the man who makes them feel insecure. They ask for a good man, but when one appears, they often find ways to dismantle the connection, consciously or not. This is where the idea of be evil or stay single comes from. It isn't a call to become a heartless manipulator or to cause harm. It's about adopting a strategic mindset that shields you from being emotionally drained and taken for granted. In this context, evil means you stop giving away all of yourself from the start. It means you're not perpetually available. It means you don't let your emotions become a tool she can use against you. It means allowing her to feel the weight of your absence, not just the comfort of your presence. It's about understanding that attraction today isn't always sustained by giving more. It's often sparked by giving less, by withholding just enough to make her value you, to make her curious, instead of overwhelming her with a level of attention she hasn't earned. This is the fine line that separates the man she eventually forgets from the man she can't stop thinking about. The fact is, if you're not willing to cultivate this strategic edge, you might find that staying single is the better option. And there is no shame in that. It's infinitely better than being hollowed out by a dynamic that doesn't reward your worth. Because when good men enter the dating world with unguarded hearts, they often leave without their trust, their resources, their time, and their mental peace. They lose their sense of self trying to provide the very stability that women claim to desire, only to be abandoned for the man who brings unpredictability and drama. When this happens repeatedly, you face a choice. You either break or you evolve. You either grow colder, more discerning, and more self-possessed, or you walk away from the game for good. What you can no longer afford to be is naive, Because the dating world of today will not celebrate your goodness, it will exploit it. And that is the cruel dilemma that men are facing right now. To protect your spirit, you sometimes have to play a role you never wanted. To maintain her interest, you have to hold back the affection that you naturally want to give. To keep her invested, you have to let her experience moments of uncertainty. Not because you want to hurt her, but because that seems to be the only language that modern attraction truly understands. Think about it this way. Many women today are conditioned to respond to emotional peaks and valleys. If you create a flat line by being too consistent, too available, and too kind, her emotional connection to you fizzles out. And once that spark dies, her interest follows. This is why men who refuse to adapt are often left broken, while those who embrace this more calculated approach become magnetic. Women may never say it out loud, but their attraction often thrives on a certain level of imbalance. When she feels she has you figured out, when you give her absolute certainty, she subconsciously begins to pull away. It's not a moral failing on your part. It's that her emotional system is wired to pursue what is uncertain, what is not fully conquered, what comes in doses rather than floods. A woman's desire can be like a fire. If you give it too much fuel all at once, you don't make it bigger, you suffocate it. She needs space, she needs air, she needs to feel a little bit of a chill to appreciate the warmth. The cold, indifferent man keeps the fire burning because he never smothers it. He only offers enough fuel to keep her wanting more. Now, consider the damage this dynamic inflicts on a genuinely good man. He was raised to believe that love is demonstrated through action, care is proven through consistency, and desire is shown through pursuit. But when he applies these principles, they backfire spectacularly. He becomes the man who is always there, always initiating contact, always adjusting his life to fit hers, always quick to forgive. At first, she appreciates it. But over time, she begins to resent it. She starts telling herself he's too nice, too soft, or too easy. Then comes the most painful part. She'll tell her friends, he's an amazing guy, but the chemistry just isn't there. That missing chemistry is the tension, the mystery, the unpredictability that he worked so hard to eliminate in the name of creating a secure relationship. He is then replaced by a man who creates nothing but tension, the very kind of man she swore she would avoid. This is how dating ruins good people. Because after a good man has been burned enough times, after being betrayed, ghosted, or abandoned after giving his all, something inside him begins to harden. He stops trusting so easily. He learns to guard his heart. But in doing so, he becomes a colder version of himself. This is where a man's path splits. After being hurt, some don't just become cold. They learn to play the game. They become strategic, they stop over-explaining, and they stop chasing. And the result? The women who once overlooked them are now intrigued. He didn't become high value by changing his core. He became high value the moment he stopped being the conventional, good guy. The moment sincerity was replaced with a protective indifference, respect followed. This is the paradox. Women's emotions often respond to the man they can't fully control, the one who keeps them guessing. That uncertainty is the fuel. So here's the brutal truth. Dating ruins good people because it teaches them that their goodness is a liability. To survive, you must learn to hold back, to detach, and to carry yourself with a little more shadow than light. You cannot win by playing the self-sacrificing role society sold you. Women don't fall for the man who gives up everything for them. They fall for the man who refuses to give up himself. And if you are not prepared to be that man, then stay single. Because your peace is far more valuable than a relationship that will strip away your soul just to test your limits.